Hello and welcome to this video. Now in this video we're going to be selecting the Fast AI image designer, and in this tutorial we're going to be looking at specifically consistent characters. Okay, so once you're in the Fast AI image designer, you need to select consistent characters, train your own AI, and we're going to be looking at multi-consistent characters. So once you come onto this feature, this will allow you or enable you to use multiple characters, okay, consistently in your design creative. So here we can see we have a selection of character 1 and character 2. Now in an instance, well, in this particular scenario here, we can actually drag and drop. If you have files of images, or maybe have a character already built, we can actually drag and drop those files specifically, whether you already have those or maybe your client has specific images that you want to create in the design brief. This is how you would do it. You simply drag and drop. Or alternatively, if you have already created characters, you can simply select choose from library function for both character 1 and character 2. So in this example, let's go to personal designs and let me show you some of the characters I built for this demonstration, just to show you how simple this is. Now what we're going to see is I've created a couple of characters. Okay, so these are 3D Pixar style characters. You can see there's a young boy and an elderly gentleman that should appear to be his father. Okay, now the key here is that when you come and you're creating these characters, yes, sometimes in some instances you can have, if there's an image there and it's got something in the background, that's fine. However, you know what, for the best use, just try to have something that's nice and clear. Depending on the image, if it's a full length photo, it works even better if you want to capture the entire torso. Okay, now if I was doing this for the first time, when you're creating images, say as an example, you can see here some creations and they've got kind of a colored background. You can see a young boy standing front facing Pixar 3D style and clear background. Okay, so here's another great one. So I could just essentially take this, a young boy standing front facing cartoon Pixar 3D style clear white background. Okay, so I'm trying to be as clear as possible with the creation that I want. And whether it's a cartoon boy, depending on your illustration, like I've got some aliens as well, and here's some designs. So there's a bit of a mixture between human and cartoon, as we can see, and we can take even further where we can have two people, okay, and mixing them and then creating a completely consistent background. You can see here, this gentleman here, he's sitting with the 3D style character at the office, and we've got a couple of aliens there, the two characters here with the spaceship firing down a blue beam down at people. Okay, so we've got another one where we can see a young boy that I just showed you with his father. He's driving in the car, one in the plane in the cockpit, and you've got one in the jungle. So the key here is being as specific as possible with the prompt, and let me explain. So here we have, say for an example, I've created this gentleman here. Okay, so in order to create your characters, if you haven't already, if you already got them, then great. You can simply go to the AI image designer. You can create from prompt, and it will look like something like this. So say for example, I just create something simple: young boy, young girl, whatever you want your subject to be, front facing, cartoon, and the style. So be specific in your style that you want to create. Okay, now for this, what I like to do, I like to make 4 different variations and see which ones are going to be the best. Okay, and that will also apply for the other character that you want to create. So here, one can be a boy, the other one can be an alien. It doesn't matter. It just depends on your character that you're building out. Okay, once you go ahead and do that, you'll see you'll get redirected, as you probably already know, for processing. Now if I come to the consistent characters section, let's now engage the multi-consistent characters tab. Let me choose from library of one that I've created. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to find a character that I think I would like to use. Maybe I'm building out a story. So here we have the father figure there. And then I'm going to find his son. Okay, so I'm going to use one of them. This is why it's always good to have 4 variations. I'm going to use this young boy here. So now it comes down to the dimension. So what kind of dimension are you looking for, depending on your needs or your purposes? Now for quantity, I always like to have 4 versions just to make sure, because sometimes it may take, some instances you might not get a good example as the AI is learning. So I always like to have 4 to give me choice. Okay, so here now we have the example of a man and girl playing together in the garden. Here we have the man and boy together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and type a man and boy are together. Okay, first I'm going to just designate what they are. They are together. The man is flying a kite and the boy sitting down eating food in the park. Okay, so now what we're looking for is that these 2 subjects are going to be together, and that the man is flying a kite and the boy sitting down eating food. Ideally, I think the boy would be flying the kite and the man would be eating, but we're going to go ahead and go for this. So what we're looking for is the AI to first take the characters and then repurpose those exact same characters in the actions that we designate, i.e. the prompt. So it's always best to have as much information here as possible in terms of what you're looking to achieve in terms of those characters in your particular story or your narrative that you're building out. Now I'm going to go ahead and select generate characters, and it will start processing, and you can see it will redirect us back to the personal design section. So as we're doing that, let me show you some other versions that I've created. I've kind of touched on them already, but let me say we had the young boy with his father. Okay, so this is why it's so clear to be very specific. So in these instances here, you'll notice that they're not very clear. Man and son driving along. So I wanted to just show you what it will look like. When you have not so specific prompts and not very clear, then you're not going to get a good result. However, the moment I specify man and boy together, the man is driving and the boy is in the passenger seat drinking a drink. So you can see, because I'm much more clearer in my prompt, then the AI will work much better in giving my result. And here we have another one here. Okay. And we have another version here where he's driving along, man and boy together. Man is driving and the boy's in the passenger seat. So I made 4 different versions to see which one I'm getting the best. Now this one, interestingly enough, the man is with the boy. The man is flying a plane in the sky and the boy is standing on the top of the plane's wings. Now you might think that's a good prompt, but you will see some discrepancies in the results. Okay, because what you need to do, so these were good examples to show sometimes why you should always try to do the best with the prompt and be exact. Now in these instances here, the difference is I've said the man and boy are together. The man is in the cockpit of the plane and flying the plane, and the boy is in the passenger. The boy is the passenger and sitting inside the cockpit. So I'm more specific in what I'm looking for. So in the instance of this one, if I wanted to do that, he's flying the plane. I could say the man is flying the plane from the cockpit of the plane, and the boy is standing on the top of the plane, specifically on the plane wing, and that would give us a much better result. Now again, with this one, you can see here, I have specified the man and boy are together. They are in a jungle with monkeys in the trees, and the man has a spear and the boy has a banana. So you can see we're repurposing the same characters and we're having a consistent flow when it comes to the storyline or the narrative that we're building. And this was another really good one where I used the 2 elderly gentlemen, and I said the 2 old men are together. They are sitting down playing a game of chess on the road with a red Ferrari parked next to them, and the planet Saturn is in the sky, and you can see that. So you can see how you can start building things out. And this one's a much better one here. You can see that's looks like the outline of the Ferrari in the back. And that's why it's so important to have those 4 versions, because then we have more choice to choose from. Okay, and here we have another one where they're sitting with the red sports car in the back. So really nice consistent levels. And I did this again with the aliens. I thought, let me try mixing humans and alien characters, or humans, 2 alien characters, and then subsequently you can see this it gave me some good results. And then I thought humans and the cartoon characters. Okay, so here we've got that gentleman from down below. okay, where I've repurposed him and I put him at the office. You can see the prompt. The businessman is with the old man in the office. They are sitting at the computer looking serious. So he's looking quite serious. And there's the generation that we created. And using this image here that I had, I repurposed it and I put the cartoon character with the human-like realistic image there. You can see the man is sitting with the cartoon man at the office. They are on a laptop and looking happy. Okay, and I'm going to show you some other examples that even if you created a character, we can actually go at an advanced level and we can do face swap to make this more personalized if that's what you're looking for. So you can actually impose your own face or even your client's face on there if they so desire. Here you can see some really other good, amazing mock-ups. So there's a nice hybrid of both human realistic and cartoon styles that you can choose from, and you can do this time and time again. So now I took two other images you can see and I repurposed them and put these two characters together in front of a private jet. Okay, so that's a very good, nice, similar facial features, and it's taken that entire image and it's reconstructing it, because you can remember, you can see here there's no legs in there, so it's actually built it out. Now in this one you can see with the images here, you can see I've actually added it. They're surrounded by a film crew. Now I can develop this out a lot more. Now the other important thing is that you may think, you know what, some of the images I can kind of see the similarities with the facial features, with the element of the training the AI. Now obviously the more times you do this the better, but the key here is that you can take these images and you can go into the advanced AI image designer, and again we can actually improve and we can really target that face using the facial swap feature to really enhance the outlook and expand the scene and do so much more, which I will show you shortly after. Okay, so here we're just waiting for this to render, so I'm just going to give this a few moments. Okay, and just like that, here's the gentleman there with a kite flying in the sky. Okay, and you can see, you might be thinking, okay, the kite is flying, the man is flying the kite, but to be more specific, the man is holding the string that flies the kite and the boy's sitting down eating food. So you can see that why it's so important to get this right, especially with the prompt. And you'll see those characters are now being repurposed in the scene that we set, and we can do this time and time again. So if I come back here, let's get this character. Okay, so I am looking for that gentleman again, or maybe I want to have this alien character, and let's have the boy. Okay, so the alien and the boy are together on the top of a volcano. The alien is holding a laser weapon, and there are lots of people around. Okay, and I'm going to go laser weapon. Yes, that is the correct spelling. And I'm going to go quantity. Remember, you can change all different dimensions. And I'm going to go generate characters. So just, it's always a good thing or idea to have those variations, because sometimes the AI is learning or it's trying to build that picture together, and some of them you might not get the result that you're looking for, but just having those versions variations can start building upon it. And once you're happy with kind of the result, you can redo it and you can really enhance that prompt and get used to it. So don't be afraid to try different versions, okay, to get the best result that you're looking for. So here you can see different versions here, and we can start playing around with the prompt and really enhancing it and really get more specific to what we're looking for. Okay, and we can see this is the alien and the boy together on top of a volcano, and he's holding a laser weapon. So you might not have the laser weapon, but you can see a laser being shot out. And here we have, look, there is a laser weapon there. Okay, people around. We'll give a few moments for the others to load. Okay, and there we have it. So it's trying to learn who's with in terms of the laser weapon, so we can retrain it. We can go and be more specific, making sure the alien, okay, is holding the laser weapon and the boy is not holding anything at all. However, these are some really good results. You can see this is getting much clearer to what we require. So again, it's learning, it's building upon that, and we can go in and do that again. Let's try one more. Okay, so don't be afraid to try this out, because once you get familiar with it and you're improving on your prompts, it just becomes so much more easier. So for this example, let's go ahead and let's use this elderly gentleman. And for this second one, let me go and be a little bit more adventurous and use a human image. Okay, this character. So here we have that's complete and that's complete. Okay, so the businessman and cartoon man are together in the park. The businessman is standing outside his red sports car, and the cartoon man is taking a picture of the red sports car. Okay, I'm going to go for quantity, and I'm just trying to, I'm trying to be a little bit adventurous here. I'm trying to really dial in what I'm looking for, and I'm just trying to, even though it's very short, the more specific I am, the better. And I'm essentially trying to train the AI, and this will, happen over time as it becomes more familiar with your requirements and the algorithm starts learning. So it'll be fascinating to see what it builds at, especially, you could be more specific with the sports car. Which side is he standing on? Where in the park? What's the weather like? Etc. etc. So here we have, the businessman, they're together, and the cartoon man is taking a picture of the red sports car. Okay, so some instances you'll have that human element that does work, but here you can see this has now made it essentially like a caricature, of the red sports car. We'll give it a few moments for the other one to load. Okay, so here's a really good example of where it may not get things correct, and you can see it's superimposed that character, his head, onto the other body. So this was a really good result. We're really happy with this one. So what we can do, we can go back and let's go to the consistent character again, and let's try this one more time and be a bit more clearer in what we require. So what I'm going to do, let me find that elderly gentleman. Here we go. Okay, so, and you can see sometimes, that this image, because it's might not be as clear, it may have an issue, but we're going to give that a few moments and upload, and there we go. Okay, if we jump the gun, always keep it as 4. So the businessman and the cartoon old man are together standing in the park next to a red sports car and taking pictures. And the issue you may have, because there's no legs in there, okay, you can see there's no legs in there, so it's going to try to build out those legs as part of it. But this was a really good result that we can see that clearly is working. And then some examples, obviously we can use those human elements, and you can see there's a nice merge of both. So the man is sitting with the cartoon man at the office. So when we know there's a prompt working, we can reuse that same prompt because clearly it's working here. Okay, so the businessman is with the old man. Okay, so in this prompt I didn't use the cartoon element, did I? Here you can see, so the businessman and the old man are together standing in the park, opposed to this one was the cartoon man. Okay, and here we have it. These are really good. You can see he looks actually human-like, but we want the cartoon man, so this is even better. Here you can see he's taken that picture there, and it's given me it's given a complete torso to the character, so it's built that out itself with the red car. Okay, and then we have another one. Okay, now here is the closest you can see. There's a camera there, and the facial features might be slightly different, but we can make more versions. We can get closer because clearly here this is a good one. They're taking pictures here. Okay, now there's nothing stopping you from again repeating the process and really improving the AI, so it's training it up. Now if you have ever an instance of this where with the face that you think it's very close, or you would want it even closer, what you can do, simply select edit this image. Once you select this, it'll take us to the advanced AI image designer section, And what you can do, you can simply go ahead and select the face swapper function. Now, if you select the face swapper function, you can actually set multiple faces, and you can detect the faces on there. So say, for example, if you actually done different face and you think, you know what, I want to craft it a little bit better and maybe have it to someone, a different face, you can see, look, we got face 1 and 2. I upload a face, so I can upload from the device, which I'll go ahead and do now. Okay, and there you can see that's the picture I uploaded, and I can go ahead and swap the face. So it's only going to identify the first one. I'm not going to do the second one because we've got a cartoon character, but in some instances you can apply a human face, and there we have, look how it's now crafted it to a much better result. So I insert that into the editor, and there we have it. Look at the difference of that photo now. And the good thing about this is what you can do to take it even one step further. I can go smart expand. I can make it much larger. So remember, we created it 1 by 1, 1080 by 80, but now what we can do, we can go so much further with this in terms of building out the project. So we started off a very small image of 1 by 1, which we've done, but now I can go ahead and start building out a scene that wasn't there in the first place. So you can see now we've got a much bigger scene there. Okay, and things like in painting, if I want, I can go and change this color of the suit. Maybe I want to put sunglasses. Maybe I want to change the hair color, the size, the length. Maybe I want to remove the bed, add the bed. Maybe I want to add something into the background, remove something. We can do that all using these powerful features within the advanced AI image designer. Okay. Now, just quickly to show you, so if you go to the media library, so if you ever want to come here directly without going through the other process, you can simply come to the media library, choose from designs, and anything that you've built on the fast AI image designer, you can actually bring it across over here. So say, for example, if I wanted to take a design that I built earlier on, let me actually show you something really interesting. So if I wanted to take an image that was close to, that I was still training up, here's a really good one. I import that here. You can see now the one in the back. Let's actually duplicate. Yeah, let's go ahead and remove this. Okay, so let's remove that in the background. We can come back to that later. So again, it will be the same process. I can go to the face swapper section, multiple faces. I detect those faces. And then once it detects it, it'll process 1 and 2. I can go ahead and, it detect all of those faces on there. Okay, so if I go to number 3, and then I'll go ahead and use the image that I've used before. And number 1, let's go for an image here. Let's go for this image here. Let's go ahead and swap. So this will just allow you to go even more advanced with the processing. So here we have essentially my image. Okay. Let's have a look. So there's that image there, and let's actually just detect the face, and let's get Paul's face on there as well. So that's beautifully done. Oh, number 2. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's find the image. So we're trying our best, to get a clear image. Let's go ahead and swap. And we'll give that a few moments to process, and there we have that's Paul's face on the picture now. So now you can see there's a short scene here, isn't it? So I can go to smart expand, and I can resize. So I'm just, I know we're looking at train AI consistent characters, but I'm just showing you how you can do, the post-production editing when you have that initial image. If you want to really tailor it down, maybe swap the faces, expand the scene, and make other adjustments. And check this out. Now we have a whole complete crew. Okay. And things like in painting, if I want, I can obviously change the color, the hair, even things like, the suit, if I want to change things around. Okay. So change to a red blazer. Okay. If I wanted to remove any objects, you can see the staff around, the camera crews there outside the plane, and this is all done, okay, using artistly. So we could train the AI, we can build it out, and check this out. Look how amazing that looks now. Now I can just change the entire scene. And sometimes if you feel like the clarity is slightly dropped, remember we have the upscaler ability where we can actually improve human photos. And obviously in the fast AI image design, if you want to have it ready for print, we can actually scale it up to 300 dpi with all these processes. And check this out. Look at the quality now, much more crisp and much more clearer. Okay. and then you are ready to go. And the same process can be said if you want to come in and do other changes, etc, etc. We can do that. Okay, so let's return now to the main dashboard. We go to create design, fast AI image designer, and those were the steps we took to create multiple consistent characters. So it does work really well with obviously Pixar style, but don't be afraid, to get those consistent characters and just try different variations and really refine it and train your own AI over time until you get really good results. Even something like this. Even if I created a character in the suit with that elderly cartoon man, if I really want to enhance it, I could just simply come to advanced editor. Same process. If I really want to get something even much more sharper, I detect those faces. Okay, so we're going to now try to detect subject's face number 1 and then subject face number 2. And upload, I use this face right here. Let's go ahead and swap. So ideally it works really well obviously with cartoon or Pixar style, or that kind of style. Here we go. It's a really good outcome where it's more facial features, and then we can scale up and improve the human photo. So using the AI, obviously over time you'll enhance it, it will learn, it'll start adapting, and it's all about the prompt. Try to be as specific as possible and play with it. You really enjoy it and have those different depending on your story and your narrative, you can really build out a good picture, and using those characters consistently. Okay, and here we have, that's a much more refined version. So let's go return. So obviously you can use that to build ads or banners and so many other things. So here's some of the things that we used. Again, if we took these two characters again, we could put them on a boat, on a plane. Again with human characters as well, you can see there's a little bit of a hybrid here. It makes it more fun and exciting. So obviously in some cases, yes, some results may vary, but that's why it's so good to make those 4 variations. And when you start learning and understanding in terms of the prompts and really being specific with them, and plus having the AI learn with them, you'll get some really good results. So we've got this boy and his father in different situations. They're both driving the car, then they're in the plane flying together, and they end up in the jungle. And then we've got other scenarios here just to show don't be afraid to test them out and try different versions. But there's some it does create a very powerful narrative when you're using the multiple consistent characters function. And taking it one step further, the brilliant thing is that yes, you can take these images if you want, and you could go into the advanced AI image editor and take it even further. So let's say this cartoon here. Okay, let's have a look at this storyboard here. So if I really wanted to build it out, again, small little things like this go a long way. If I wanted to resize it and actually build out this image even bigger than what it was, and things like in painting, go and doing these edits, but it looks really good. I can build this out into a banner. I can use it and essentially create a thumbnail from it, add text, and really here we can see, check this out, it's really built out a really good image there. If I want to come back to it, go to Smart Expander, maybe I want to make it for a mobile responsive thumbnail, so more for TikTok shorts, etc. So using the multiple consistent character function, yes, it's amazing, but then when you start tweaking things and using other functions like the advanced AI image designer, it goes even further. You really are refining it, and you're building out that narrative or that picture that you want, so you can purpose that one piece of content into multiple different repurposed pieces of designs that are applicable for all devices and all projects. Okay, something like this, you can see now if I wanted to, I can then go add text to it and add it into my story, or make it the thumbnail of my story if I'm using consistent characters. Maybe I'm making a mobile ready version of then taking my images and using something like talking photos or viddeoexpress.ai, making videos from them. Okay, so in this video we looked at how you can use consistent characters, and more specifically multiple consistent characters using Artistly. So go ahead, don't be shy. Yes, go ahead and try different prompts and really allow the AI to learn from you. And as over time, when you're trying different versions out or different prompts, it will become very clear and the best way of moving forward with it. But you can see some really good results using this. And that's why it's so important, you know, using or creating 4 versions gives you more choice and gives you a better ability to see which one the AI generates the best. And then from that, you can really pinpoint a good prompt and learn from it, and also evolve in when you are using this powerful feature. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in another video.